I'll come back. 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 I'll come back.
Some about, because I was the one who suggested you, so we'll talk a lot about stuff.
Great.
Okay. It looks like we are live, which is fantastic. Did everyone make their fucking blog posts, bitches?
Yes.
Okay. And, Priest, can I ask you to make... no, I'll tell you what I'll do. Before we start, even though we're live, I'll just really quick make a new thread. We are live now. Go, 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 go. Cackling Moron. It time. Spelled wrong. Fantastic. Perfect. Yes. This is what happens when I'm in charge, you guys. It's a bad idea. I miss milk.
I miss calcium as well.
I have to do everything basically on, what's the word? My phone or the streaming monitor.
Which is why I decided to do it. I meant to add everyone, because you're supposed to add everyone when we go live for a change. Yep. We are. Okay, let me add everyone. There! I added everyone. Yes, I want to add everyone.
Everyone.
I'm so bad at this.
What do you mean by everyone?
Everyone! Don't quote my favorite movie at me. Fuck you.
I don't remember what movie that's from.
It's
from Leon,
the
also known as The
Professional.
Professional.
You fucking...
From what?
Leon the Professional, you fucking uncultured swine.
I don't think I've seen that. That does not sound...
It's really good.
You stupid fuck.
I've heard the reference of everyone, but not the movie itself.
That's it. It's my favorite thing.
Alright, it's all you, Pencil.
Alright. In that case, I'll do the count-in, and I'll read us in. Everyone ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to the Barcast, where the bar gets lower each and every week. Your bartenders for this evening are Enigmatic Otaku.
It's 4 p.m. I've got the rolling pin. Let's flatten my dick.
Flutter Priest.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Don't sing, you have a sore throat.
Yeah.
And I'm a non-pencil. Flammenwerfer will be joining us a little later because he's an asshole and he's not here on time and he can get fucked. We have a wonderful guest this evening. Our guest is Cackling Moron.
Hello.
For those who are just tuning in for the first time, hi, welcome. Nice to see you guys. We are a user-submitted podcast, meaning you ask questions. We select guests from the fandom or from the talent, including voice actors like Andrea Lippman, John Delancey, and Bill Newton. We bring them on, we ask them questions for 2 hours, and make them as miserable as possible. And that's what we're going to do here today. You can ask questions on the thread on our FimFic page, which Alex will post, or you can ask questions in the chat, which will be monitored, I guess, by Priest. Priest? Are you going to monitor the chat today?
Darn right I am.
Fantastic. I'll be taking over today as the main interviewer because Priest is under the weather. We wish him well, and we hope that whatever's wrong is not as bad as it could be.
Priest, just wipe away the milk stains and, sit behind the curtain where milk usually does.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
If you decide you want to talk to our guests, want to ask them a question in the chat, what are some... I should just do it. So there are some questions you should not ask. We will not ask anything to do with politics or religion, and we won't ask anything overly intrusively personal, like where they live, where they work, their social security number, none of that. However, our guest says they have thick skin and can handle the weird questions, and so, other guy, I know exactly what you're going to ask, and I encourage you to do so, sweetie. And then Priest will field me those questions. We also have a drinking word. Anytime you hear any of us or the guests say the word, well, have a drink. Please drink responsibly. We don't want to send anyone to the hospital, especially right now. Just drink responsibly, please. Don't go to the hospital because of us again. Thank you. And I think I covered everything. How'd I do, Priest? Did I do your job well?
Yes.
I was very pained. I'm glad
I was taking my temperature.
Rectally or orally?
I'll let you find out.
Oh God, that's not fun. Also, Alex, post a fucking link to the thread, please. Thank you, Alex.
Because one of those two options is more accurate than the other.
Anyway, so we're about to dive into this. Cackling Moron, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah, us too. So let's start with the first question from the chat, actually. How awesome is your organ?
It's fantastic. You'd have to see it to truly comprehend how fantastic it is, and you never will. Unfortunately, it takes up the whole back of the house, and it's something. Every so often I have to clean a dead pigeon out of it, though.
We're talking... I think he's talking about a musical organ. The grandma...
It's a joke.
The grandma piano.
And it must... Oh, God, I miss having people I can banter with that have brain cells. Cackling Moron, you're going to have to help me out this cast. I'm going to tell you right now.
You hear that, Cackling Moron? You gotta get some brain cells in here. You're angering pencil.
I think I came out of the gate too strong. It's all downhill from here.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Well, we have another question from the other guy, which is similar. How long a straw can you fit into your pee hole?
Oh no, I haven't found one that I ever got to the end of yet.
I have a crazy straw. Can you use this?
Sure. I mean, my insides are pretty crazy.
Oh God. That's... okay. Well, let me ask some standard questions for you then, because I think I'm supposed to do that. Am I supposed to do that, Priest?
Yes.
Yay!
The priest method is right after the guest says something, there's a pause, and you say, awesome!
Or,
alrighty.
All right. Yeah, alrighty. Or, okay. Yeah, no, I'll practice. I'll get good at it, guys. I promise. I will fulfill priest's duties 100% accurately. I just have to, imagine an undying love for the worst princess and, giggle more. Oh, God, it's going to be hard. So, also, I see Rob is harassing our guest, which is great. Good job, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's start with this. For those who do not know you, can you give a brief summary of who you are and what you do in this fandom?
All right. I am a disgusting parasite buried deep in the tender flesh of a community that cares a lot, growing fat and engorged on the enjoyment of people who care a lot more than I do.
The Red Cross?
Okay, but what do you create in this fandom? What do you create?
Stories that don't really go anywhere and aren't really about anything.
But they're very popular. That's the thing.
I had a look at the fucking website again, and it's like, what was the last one I did? She Means Well, and it's like it's back in the box, and I'm like, why is it back there?
I remember you kind of freaking out in your blog post about, what was it, sniffles?
Yeah, any of these things.
Are you still in the phase, then, of every time one of your pieces of work does well, you're just like, why is this?
Pretty much. Yeah.
I know that Priest and I have experienced that. I'm pretty sure Enigma just, masturbates furiously whenever he has any modicum of success, no matter if he deserves it or not.
Yeah, I just gotta... well, it's the only thing I could be proud of, so, let me strut around with it.
Please don't strut around masturbating. Please. That sounds so messy.
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Okay, Priest, well, I'm too distracted, and I don't remember what the next proper question is going to be. I could make it up as I go. It's like, oh wait, how did you get started in the fandom?
Okay, I can give a slightly longer, more rambling answer for this one.
Yay.
Many years ago now, I heard in the general way that one hears about things that My Little Pony was getting sort of rebooted or something like that. And I looked and I said, I remember that. I watched the film when I was a kid. Good for them. And then after that, I heard that adults also enjoyed this show, and I thought, cool, I don't care. And then several other years passed, and I was reading TV tropes, and one of them that got mentioned was a story called Sophistication and Betrayal. And I was like, I recognize one of the names here. That's a pony. People write fan fiction about My Little Pony. And so I read the whole thing, and I was like, I have to see what this looks like. And I read the whole thing. I'm like, this is surprisingly interesting. And then I lurked on the website for a few years, just reading stories, and I'm like, I'm going to do one myself. And I did, and it wasn't very good. And then I waited a little longer, and then I wrote another one, which was much better. And then it all went downhill from there.
I'm imagining you reading one of your stories, but there's no punctuation, and you just keep going like Yahtzee, because your voice matches him.
Damn it! Yes.
I want this.
Why do you? I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, I want to be like, okay, so you're apparently Enigma thinks you're Yahtzee. Yes.
May I offer you this chocolate Kinder Egg?
Okay.
Is there another kind of Kinder Egg?
Is there actually? I don't actually know. We don't have them here.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, okay. I think the next one
that was probably a very bad answer. I'm sorry.
Oh no! You're doing fine. Oh God.
All I
Basically,
know.
the whole thing is just an outlet for, because I do write other stuff, but no one cares about that, and this is just an outlet for stories that are nicer.
What's the other stuff?
Of you. I am the
Yes, I picked up on that.
Yeah. I also write other stuff, and this is my outlet to write not nice stuff.
What is your other stuff, if I may ask?
It's just like short, little, like lots of flash fiction.
So you're writing stories about you flashing people. Got it.
No,
Yes. Thousands and thousands of stories about me flashing people.
so we really are the opposite of each other then. Got it. Cool. So what is your favorite thing about this fandom then? Is it the writing, or is it the art, or is it just the people and the general weirdness? What's keeping you here now that you're here?
Really, it's nice to write things that people read, for one thing. So that's probably my primary motivating factor. But also, I read it, and the people write it, and they all seem rather pleasant. So it's just very nice.
Oh, I get the feeling that you're a very wholesome person when it comes to the fanfiction world.
Yes.
Oh.
when it comes to this, and I'm aware that there's a lot that is that.
Has none of your stories gone past the teen rating?
No, they haven't actually. Now I come to think of it.
No, that was like, usually when I check our guests to see how I think they'll fit, I'm like, hey, they have mature stories, they'll probably get along with us. And I was just like, oh, they only have teen. Oh. Oh, I wonder if this is going to worry them. Oh no.
Oh no, do we gotta censor ourselves?
I know, I was like, oh God, do I have to like never say the F word? Fuck, no. But I'm glad to see that you actually can roll with the punches, and I look forward to traumatizing you with this podcast. So
it's just like I read some of the more mature stuff, and I just don't reproduce it.
that's fair. I mean, yeah, like. I think.
Meanwhile, I write mature stuff and cannot reproduce.
That's true. He needs a female to reproduce, and that's never going to happen. So, we have another question from the chat. It's from 8, who happens to be Australian, and he says, "So fucking British. How many monocles do you have on?"
8.
8. Are they all on your eye though?
No.
Oh. Oh, I imagined that. I made myself imagine that. I feel bad.
I'm not going to go any more detail than that because it would spoil the imagery.
Yep, nope. I just imagined somebody putting a monocle on their anus. No, I can't not imagine.
Really? I was thinking on his nipples. You went straight to the anus.
I did, because I imagined somebody like having to squat and like fit it between the cheeks and then just hold it there. And I was just like, no.
You could like line 8 monocles between your butt cheeks, so it ran the top to bottom.
Now I'm envisioning that. Why did
if you fold your butt cheeks, can hold in the monocles.
Well, I mean, I would assume so. Like, you just have to tense your butt.
It's like that party game that the Pope was supposed to have played way back when, where they like had prostitutes passing like a nut from bottom to bottom. Don't we all remember that?
I I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. We're not allowed to discuss religion, but I'm just
no, I don't know. I don't think it's religion. It's history, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's history.
Okay. What happened with the prostitutes and the nuts? Like, what?
Well, there was a period in time when the papacy was a lot more concerned with parties than it was with being the papacy. But that's in the past. That's history.
Yes. So, but what is the game where you?
The game is you hire prostitutes and you get like a hazelnut or something and you put it in one's bottom and you say, pass it down the room from bottom to bottom. And then you either succeed or you fail.
Okay.
From butt cheek to butt cheek, or?
Well, not from cheek to cheek. From between them, you have to like clinch and grab and turn.
But how do you pass it off then? How do you hand? Is there a
Okay,
word
imagine a bottom and it's got like a nut just poking out a little bit.
I
another bottom comes in and grabs it like a pair of tweezers and pulls it out.
Tweezer bottom.
And then you turn around and you just keep doing that.
What if they grab the wrong kind of nut and they pull really hard?
Then you drink more wine.
So, anyone who wants to attend the next Barcast meetup, I can assure you we'll be playing this game. We will be playing the nut ass crack game, or whatever the fuck this is called. Crack the nut. It's called Crack the Nut. That's what it's called.
No. I got a perfect name for it.
Oh god, I thought Crack the Nut was clever. What are you gonna do to that?
Bust the nut!
No. The Nut Clapper.
No.
That's
No.
actively worse.
I keep trying to sneak these nuts past these guys, but the clap on my ass cheeks keeps giving them away.
No.
That meme is gonna get old so fast. I'm so sick of it. Like I'm sick of you and your stupid shit, Enigma. Oh, okay. I think I'm down to the last standard question before I move on to questions from our guests. And this is, I know I said we weren't going to get controversial or political here, but we're about to get kind of controversial. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Who is best pony?
Isn't really the best pony all the friends we made along the way. I can't really decide. It would depend on what mood I was in at the time. But considering this is something I actually have to choose, I'm just going to say Celestia because she's lovely.
Aww. Because she's lovely. That's so wholesome.
So it depends on your mood, right? So who is best pony when you're feeling horny?
I'm far too English for that sort of thing.
Far too English for that sort of... I'm going to tell Alex that he's been being English all wrong. This makes me happy. Alex,
I couldn't possibly answer that question.
Alex, you are a disgrace to the crown. There we go. I have done so. Fantastic. All right. Well, in that case, I guess Alex is sad. We'll go out to the chat now, and we'll ask some questions that our viewers have posted. Starting with, well, who's our first one? Our first one is Mugany, who has some questions. Oh, they're very, very nice. Oh, God, they're very nice. So, how is your day?
Quiet, which is actually very good because, yeah, it's Friday and I'm tired.
I think that's fair. Second question. How your day?
How you are day? However I can.
How you are our day?
How come you are gay?
I can't pass this. Like I'm looking at it, I'm trying to work out how I can make a funny answer out of that. I can't. How you are our day? Excellently. There you go.
How your our day?
I just feel like they're getting progressively more drunk the further down the list they go.
Yeah, I'll just try to be more drunkly sounding as we go.
Passionately.
How your is day?
Is day. Quickly.
How your is day?
It was a very, very good yours day. Much better than last year's.
Good job. And that accomplishes the questions from Mugany.
Did we really accomplish anything?
No, we didn't.
I don't think we ever accomplish anything.
I don't know.
We never do. We also have questions from Short Skirts and Explosions, who very appropriately asks, "What doth life?"
End. That's what
As
life
in
doth.
end. Hold on. End, like...
What doth life? Life doth end. There you go.
Oh.
You're just saying
looks
you were
like-
born here to die.
Yeah, like
but
that's...
you can have some fun before you get to the end. That's kind of the whole point.
Why are we here? Just to suffer.
Yeah, man.
What's my purpose? You write porn. Oh my god.
Good!
It's nice to have clear guidelines.
Alright, we have now questions from Antibus, who is watching in the chat. Hi, Antibus. Antibus asks, "Do you believe that you could sneak into an asylum without anyone noticing?"
See, now, I know the spirit of the question is, could I pass myself off as the resident of an asylum? Which is probably... Maybe I could, because I just would hang around being quiet and kind of intimidating looking, which is actually how I am. But in reality, they have, like, doors and guards and cameras and stuff, so no, I couldn't. It's a boring answer, but it's true. Also, they have, like... Don't they have tags for the residents of these places? I wouldn't have one.
Yeah, like, the question is, could you sneak in as one of the people who works there, though? Maybe.
Maybe I could like swipe a uniform, I suppose, and pretend I was a temp.
I have definitely strutted past like the buzz-in door in an ER before, just because I was wearing scrubs at the time, and they just buzzed my ass in without thinking.
Yeah, I wear scrubs all the time, so no one looks at you twice, except to ask for directions.
Yeah. I got asked some stuff when I was in there. So, I think you could if you were wearing the right thing, especially since you seem to know your way around that and how to do that. Yeah, so, as 8 says, acting like you're supposed to be there does get you into many places.
Yes, it does.
Okay. What is the longest fic you've ever read?
Probably Sophistication and Betrayal. I think I wasn't really keeping track of which are the longest ones, but that one's like 300,000, I think, which is kind of ridiculous. I know there's some folks around who have like million-word-long ones.
More than that. Diaries of a Madman, for example.
I have heard of that one.
Yeah,
I haven't read it though.
It's pretty legendary in general.
Yeah, no, I haven't read that one. So Sophistication and Betrayal is probably like my ceiling right now.
I'll have to look that up and see which one that is.
It is a second-person rarity. Man.
Hey, that sounds
story.
That sounds right up my alley. Good. I just realized all these questions are numbered 42. Fantastic. Next question. Oh, yes, priest.
Nothing.
Oh, you just suddenly cut in with your static and fan.
Sorry.
It's okay. So, next question. The world is a treadmill. The ground moves on its own. Robots take over the world next year. What song do you sing to combat them?
Does the first part of this question have any relevance to the second part of this question?
I don't know. I don't know if it ever does.
I mean, I guess it adds some flavor.
Yeah, like it's a spicy question. There you go.
I would sing the Humans Are Dead by Fly the Conchords, because then the robots might think that I was like buddies with them or on their side, and they would let their guard down.
Where were you guys during the robot uprising of the late 2000s? Of the early 2000s?
Killing humans. I can't remember the words, I'm sorry. So I'd have to read up before the robots take over, so it's a good thing that they're taking over next year.
I listen to that song in the shower.
Listen to that song. Listen to that song.
Alright, so now we've already mentioned who your favorite pony is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's ask who your least favorite pony is.
Hope you're ready for another non-answer, because I don't really have a least favorite, because I think they're all really nice, and if someone's bad, I tend to just not pay attention to them particularly.
Jesus Christ, why are you wholesome? Okay, gun to your head. You gotta choose worst pony. Who is worst pony?
Oh god, who am I thinking of? Oh, they all have some redeeming features.
Gun to your head, gun to your hand, gun in your hand, kill a main 6.
1
Now
and
that's-
6. We said any pony.
But they're all nice. They're all nice.
What about Zephyr Breeze?
I actually, because here's a confession, I haven't watched all of the episodes, so I was only dimly aware of Zephyr Breeze, so I watched the episode where he comes home, and that was the first time I'd seen him, and I thought he was wonderful, because he's just such a massive prick. It was delightful. He had a little man bun.
Oh, you're maybe one of the jolliest guests we've ever had, and I don't know how to deal with that.
That's surprising. But genuinely, I really can't pick, because they're all just so adorable.
Well, then we're going to say that Spike is worst pony. How's that sound?
He's technically not a pony, so that works. Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Yes! Yes! I got another guest to agree with me that Spike's worst pony. Woo!
He's not a pony, so.
But besides ponies, what's the best race?
That's a good question. I like changelings because they can change shape, and that's pretty neat. But I would actually probably go with the Storm Guard, who I guess are Yetis, maybe. We don't know.
Oh yeah.
Do we know what those are?
They were more like warthogs.
Well, the ones wearing masks were 7 foot tall.
I think they're kind of like those things from. I think they're sort of like those things from Zelda. I'll be honest.
They're just sort of generic, big, hairy beast, but I really like them.
Yeah.
So I'll go with those guys. Especially because the movie was weird, I found.
Yes.
But the one bit that really stuck with me out of it, apart from the princess, the underwater princess who was cute, was at one point in it, one of the storm guards just sees a bunch of balloons and snips them with his finger. And it was my favorite part out of the whole film.
Are you saying that Grubber isn't your favorite?
He's the little one, right?
Yeah, the one who loves cake and whatnot. You can take out of the film and it won't change anything.
I was watching and I was thinking, you're trying too hard to be a comic relief. Could you just get out of my face and let me see the other guys who only communicate in grunts and body language, which is way funnier.
Aw, that's what I think about Enigma all the time. It's accurate. It's accurate. If the fandom never existed, but you could keep one aspect of it, like the music or the reading, the people, etc., what would you choose?
This question got asked of a bunch of other people, and because, like I say, I listened to a couple of these, and I just thought, who would be the person who would get this question and say, fuck the people?
Fuck the people!
Because, we could replace them, because surely without the people there wouldn't be anything.
Bro, fuck the people.
So I'd say the people, and then I would just read what the people wrote. Because they would write stuff.
Well, there you go. So everything else would come with the people, so...
Yeah, exactly. So, everything else gets wiped out, and then the people come and they just build it again.
That was a drink that was just opened. I could hear it.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not the sound of me pouring more drink into my tankard.
Tell the people at home what you're drinking.
I'm drinking Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin, yes?
Yes, Hobgoblin.
And what is that? So they all know, because us Americans don't have that shit.
Hobgoblin is a ruby ale made by the Witchwood Brewery.
Well, we are not sponsored by them, but here you go. If you're able to get some, you should go and do it.
We love you, Witchwood Brewery. Please don't sue us.
And finally, the traditional question of, can you give us a Diamond Dog impression?
Remind me what a diamond dog sounds like.
I think they kind of sound like a more grumpy, angry
Imagine
Yoda.
Gollum.
So a mixture of Gollum and Yoda is kind of what I got the sense of, because they're more grumbly, I thought.
I think it's probably a good idea to come back to this question later when I am more drunk and more comfortable, because right now I probably couldn't do an impression of anything.
Fair enough. We will come back and we'll harass you about this later.
Works for me.
We'll go on to questions from Terry the Human in the meantime. And Terry the Human asks, what is your favorite and least favorite My Little Pony episode?
Again, Depends how I'm feeling. There's a couple of episodes that I like, that I can remember, like, what was it, Princess Spike. I know you don't like Spike, I'm picking up on that, but I like that one because it had cadence in it. And...
Hey!
Oh no!
This guy can stay!
Oh no! So you like Spike and Cadence?
Kate, like, well, you don't really see that much of Cadence, to be honest. So I was like, I need to see more of her so I can get a good reading on just who she is.
Yeah, I need to see more of her.
Wink.
Get out.
Yeah. But that was a fun episode. Too Many Pinkie Pies was great. I watched that again the other day. Frenemies. Like, I watch, just depends how I'm feeling. So there's lots of episodes. Like, no one episode is, for me, is going to stand out over any others, because it depends who's in it, what are they doing, what am I down for, you know? Because, like, I'd pick one thing when I could just have everything.
I mean, that's kind of my motto in life. So, I mean, I agree with that.
But for
your
least favorite, I
yeah.
Oh, like, what's a bad one? What is a bad one? Because I just tend to, like, I was just watching them from start to finish, and what really stuck out? There was one which I didn't really watch, which is, I think, is one where Apple Bloom has a bunch of nightmares about getting shitty cutie marks or something.
Oh, yeah, that one.
And I was just like, I don't care. Because it's clearly just a dream, and you'll learn a lesson at the end. I don't know why I didn't care, because she's adorable, but I was just like, no, this is real.
Well, I know, that's at least an answer rather than, oh, I like them all too much, they're all good.
They are all good, though, aren't they?
Oh, God! No, stop! You had an answer, you did it! You had... No! Alright, what is your favorite memory as a brony?
Probably this, because this all I've done before now is just write stories. Then out of the blue one day, I'm just like, hey, do you want to appear on this podcast with people who actually like do stuff? I'm like, sure, fine, that'll be fun.
Well, to be honest, what I saw your name in the feature box a lot.
I know, right? What's up?
Whatever you touch kind of turns to gold. If you haven't noticed.
I have, and it kind of weirds me out because, like, I was listening to a couple of the other ones, and I'm listening to these folks that you were talking to, and they're saying, like, well, I passed them through these two people to read, and I have to rewrite from the start and all this, and I'm just here going, I wrote this in a day, just push it out onto the internet, and I go to sleep, and I wake up, and it's like, it's top of the box or something.
That's what I do. Yeah.
But I mean, this, in our day and age of 2020, in February, you got a story that had 600 upvotes.
Is that good?
That's very good.
That's unusual.
I have no frame of reference.
If you compare it to most things in the feature box right now, let's take a quick glance. Most things in the feature box have only about 100 to maybe 300 upvotes. And 300 is the upside of that.
That's not story updates.
No.
Because I wrote a couple recently, and there was one that was especially popular. I can't remember which one it was. Was it the it was the Intruder one. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was very popular and did well as well. But it's just once in a blue moon you get these stories, and yet, your last 3 stories have all been like about 400 upvotes, or 600 upvotes, or 500 upvotes. It's just constant for you. And this is not a bad thing. But it's especially consider you're also writing Human in Equestria, which doesn't usually get this sort of love. Is there anything you attribute the success to?
My sparkling personality. I also heard that the Human in Equestria thing wasn't particularly popular, and I was like, all right, you cannot comprehend the depths to which I have no idea what's going on. I didn't pick the name entirely randomly. I am an idiot, and I just generally write what I feel like writing, and apparently some people enjoy that.
Well, apparently, keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, it's mucho successful.
Apparently, it's probably my English charm.
Well, people know you're English, though. Do people know?
Have they picked up on that?
I don't know. Well, he's English, guys, just in case you didn't know. Well, we'll do another either-or question. Okay, oh yes. Who is worse, Zephyr Breeze or Spoiled Rich?
Like I said, I did watch the episode with Zephyr Breeze, and he's just magnificent. So it's going to be him. He was fantastic. I loved him. He was just the worst.
So he's the worst. You love him, but he's the worst.
Well, because there's like a to move away from ponies for a second. My two favorite characters from Harry Potter are Umbridge and Gilderoy Lockhart because they're just terrible human beings, but they're just so beautifully done. So
I can feel Priest seething in the corner of this room. How you doing?
There's shit!
Don't hurt your throat, honey! Please! Oh, no!
Sorry.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh at that.
Oh,
I feel responsible.
Please don't make my boyfriend worse.
Priest, I love you.
I'm just gonna sip my tea and keep listening.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
But no, Zephyr Breeze was like he existed to be this thing, and he did it so well. The fact that they gave him that little bun, I was just like, that's perfect. Mwah. Beautiful. Like I couldn't have come up with that.
The man bun.
Fantastic. Yeah, it was amazing.
Gives you something to grab onto.
Please stop. Number 4, what is your favorite male-female ship? And why? Defend yourself.
I don't really like whichever human I've made up at the time who's clearly me, and whichever pony I'm writing about at the time. I don't know. Because I assume people have their ones from characters in the show, but I don't really. It's a thrilling answer, I'm sure.
Oh no, it's fine. But okay. All right, I'm just gonna summarize the next question because I get the feeling that I know what the answer is going to be. How do you feel about Flurry Heart?
She's a baby, isn't she?
Yeah, she's the baby.
The baby.
Have you seen her in your episode journey yet?
I have not seen her on my episode journey yet. I'm just dimly aware of her, and I hear that she's very, very powerful and a baby.
She is all of that. Accurate.
I have no strong feelings about babies.
No strong feelings about babies. We know he's a good guy.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say the great and powerful baby, and it made me think of a story where she was raised by Trixie.
I know everything about this.
I do as well. So we'll move on. Do you think it is possible that Flurry Heart is a demon from hell?
It seems like kind of a personal question. I'm going to go with no. It seems harsh. It's just a baby, right?
Yeah, I mean, but have you been around a baby for any extended period of time?
Actually,
Cozy,
for some reason,
Cozy Glow is just a kid.
Cozy Glow is just a kid. That kind of weirded me out. Babies are terrified of me. They tend to sort of be laughing and giggling, and then they look at me and just stare.
I have a similar effect on children, I've noticed, which is interesting. It always makes me feel bad about myself, but also kind of impressed because I have this weird superpower that babies hate me. So
yeah, I just enter a room and whatever they're doing, they stop looking and just turn terrified.
But I mean, toddlers do not hate me. Toddlers think I'm fucking great.
Yeah,
So
toddlers are a whole different ballgame.
they really are.
Babs like me.
Yeah, because you're weird.
Yeah.
So which of these do you think is a better story? My Little Dashie or Cupcakes?
I am aware of these two.
Okay, good.
Because I've read about them. I didn't read them because they didn't sound like my cup of tea. I was listening to the episode of yours with Rob in it.
Yes.
He wrote those?
He didn't. Yes, Rob Cakern53 wrote Cupcakes. You heard it here first, kids. Rob Cakern53
Hey,
wrote
isn't that that guy that
Cupcakes.
wrote Cupcakes?
Cupcakes. Yes, Rob Cakern53. That guy.
Wait. Wasn't he also the dude who wrote Rainbow Factory?
Yes, he also wrote Rainbow Factory. Rob Cakern53.
You're right. Okay, I was made sure I had the right person.
Wait a minute.
I thought it was background pony.
Oh my god.
Because, like, these are all stories that I've heard of, and I'm just like, because those don't sound like my sort of thing. They sound a
But
little too rough for me.
But have you heard of his best work? Have you heard of his best work? Town Bike.
Please stop hurting. Please stop talking. Don't hurt yourself, Jesus.
because Rob was just like, I recognize this avatar. He pops up in my comments sometimes. He seems like a nice guy. And then the other day I looked at him, I was like, who is this guy? Because I've read a couple of his stories about like Celestia getting hit by a car, and these are nice stories. He's got like 3,000 followers. Who the fuck is this guy? And then I listened to your thing. I'm like, he wrote those. He seems so fucking nice.
Oh no! Let me clarify. Rob Cackling 53 only wrote My Little Dashie, which is a very nice, cuddly, fluffy story. He did not write any of the others I mentioned. I mean, I'd love to lie to you, but I can't because you actually seem wholesome.
I was surprised.
No. Rob didn't write anything nasty. Rob only wrote nice things, though I did kind of blackmail him into writing a story where Spike is a toilet and the ponies shit into him in graphic detail.
Yes, I was listening to that. I was listening to you mention that when I was walking home, and I was surprised.
Yeah, I'm kind of awful. So
I still need to do a dramatic reading of that.
Good luck. I actually gagged reading it. I was really upset and really proud. I was really.
Yes, going back to the actual question, between those two, because I am Cupcakes is the horrible murder one, and My Little Dashie is the brainwashing and traumatizing back into an infant.
What? No. My Little Dashie is a cute story in which you find a baby pony, Rainbow Dash, in a box, and you become her surrogate father.
No, Cackling.
Which one am I thinking of?
I don't fucking know!
Cackling, I want you to tell us what you think this story was.
Actually, you know what? No. Actually, I like this. Cackling Moron, please tell us what you thought My Little Dashie was.
Okay, so I am vaguely aware of a story, because like I learned about most of these things through TV tropes, because I'm just reading through that. And one of the ones I read about was, I think it was Fluttershy wants to look after a baby, and so she mentally breaks Rainbow Dash down into a baby. But I don't know what that story's called now. I'm gonna have to look it up at some point.
I think that sounds like a fic.
So
I just showed my ass in front of like 20 people.
No, there's a green text version of this same like storyline, but it's anon, and it's called Stumbling by Slasher Science, and it was one of the things I read when I was first starting out.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this out there. That has nothing to do with My Little Dashie. So I'm gonna tell you.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, My Little Dashie, you're on Earth and you find a cardboard box and there's a pony inside, a baby pony. You take it home and you become its surrogate father and you raise it, but the government wants to come and take the baby pony away. And so
and there's and there's like a Joker Voldemort monkey thing.
No, that is the whole dude. Jesus Christ, Enigma. You never read it, did you? You just watched the video version of it by Rainbow Dash Presents, didn't you?
No, I'm joking. The very first thing I saw of My Little Dashie was that really good live action reading by that one guy who does live action ponies. I don't know his name, Sylph something, I think.
Anyway. So yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, Cackling Moron, your favorite story out of those two would be My Little Dashie because it's adorable and wholesome.
I'm getting that. Why? It just seemed weird to compare those two then. That's weird.
Because they're polar opposites. One is really horrifying and one is really sweet.
I get the joke now. Yeah, like I read about Cupcakes and it made me genuinely uncomfortable.
There's actually
Priest.
Sorry.
Priest. Please stop hurting your voice. Type it in chat and I will happily relay it, okay? Okay. Do you like ponies that have freckles?
Yeah? Like, why wouldn't you?
I don't know, like, I guess some people are weird about it, or they, like, don't like how it looks or whatever.
That's bizarre. I comprehend that way of looking at the world.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, that being said, you seem to like all ponies, regardless of what they look.
It's because they're all just lovely. I don't know how to break this down.
What do you think of this baby pony foal? I have an image. I'll grab it. What do you think of this baby pony foal? Check behind the counter and you will see him. Maybe you will. I'm trying to anyway. It's giving me trouble. Usually fucking Priest does this and I'm...
It's fine. I'm looking at it on my phone.
Yeah, there! Fuck! I tried!
He looks adorable, though I wouldn't let me near any children, personally.
Would you adopt him?
Does he have a better option available? Because I'd go with that first if I was him.
Oh, that's so mean. Just, you're not the model I want. I'd like a better.
No, I mean, like, he should pick someone better.
Oh.
Like, I'm not a, I know they say any port in a storm, but not this port. You kid, you should keep going and find someone else.
I don't think orphans have the choice of choosing their parents.
Yeah, they do.
Do they actually?
Yeah, an orphan can always say, no, I don't want to be adopted by this person.
That's awesome. I actually didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
Why are you flexing on parents in front of Batman?
Jesus Christ. Okay. We've already talked some about what your favorite race is in the show besides ponies. So I guess we'll go on to that other guy who wants to ask you, how does this image make you feel?
That's pretty fantastic, actually. I like that.
Like, let's just... Please show the lovely people at home the image we're looking at. Please scroll down and show them this lovely, beautiful image. Because I have to ask... Also, I can hear Flam just quietly losing his shit over there. Are you okay, Priest?
I'm dying.
Isn't it so much?
It's a thing.
We have an Australian in the chat too. And I know that Eighth is there. He says that's funny. We don't have watermelons in Australia.
That's spot on, though.
Shows that I know.
That's just so okay. I think we need to move on to the next question. Next question is, for how much charity money would you star in a porno? As in, if somebody would give money to charity for you to star in a porno, how much money would it take?
How much creative control do I have over this pornography?
You know what? I'm gonna say you get complete creative control, but there has to be nudity and genitalia touching genitalia.
Okay. That does complicate matters, because I was kind of hoping to go for like one of those really weird fetishes where all I had to do was step on a cake.
Nope. You know crush fetishes. You've got to do the sexy sex.
Damn, you've put me in a box.
That's also a fetish.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, charity is important. I would have to talk to my wife first.
I owe you my life, baby.
I don't know. Let's just say like £1 million. I'll bang my dick against someone else's dick, and I can help the homeless.
Okay.
For £1 million, which I don't know how much is D. Somebody's gonna have to do that translation for me.
Have you heard the faptic tale of Darth Plagueis the Hard?
Please stop.
Doesn't even have to be hard. It's just going to be like 2 limp dicks. Just tap. That's it. £1 million. Read my contract, dickhead.
Alex asks, with a human or a horse?
It feels kind of wrong to do it with a horse, because the horse doesn't know what's going on. Also, a horse can't sign a contract. So
Not with that
Some pretty
attitude.
good horses, though.
also, I can't shake a horse's hand afterwards and say thank you for helping me.
You can
give
shake
money
its
to
hoof.
charity.
You can just...
I don't know what porn you're watching. It's not the porn I'm watching.
Also, the idea of you just being like, gonna be in a porno, get the $1 million.
I forgot it was supposed to be pornography. I'm just thinking of just like tap. Good day, sir.
Oh, gosh.
Hold on. So you go up to somebody, like you just stand there naked with another man on screen, walk up to him, like tap your dick against his, and say "Good day, sir," and walk away.
Yeah. Actually, graduate it up. Like, why not? Let's just go nuts here. Just have a row of dudes, and I can run across them sideways, and I can just slap.
You know, this would
And-
make so much money as a pornography. Like,
It could be like But to be one of the people whose penises that I run past and slap with mine, you have to pay £1 million. So it can go up. It can keep going up.
And then,
So,
the final couple seconds are in slow motion.
And you just
Yes.
see like the balls swing back and forth after the impact.
And then I try and do a cartwheel. Then I try and do a cartwheel.
Then you try. Would you succeed? Would you succeed at doing a cartwheel?
Probably not.
Oh, that's concerning. Okay. Well, we're gonna move on to questions from Seton. And Seton asks, what is your favorite meal, snack, or foodstuff that's really unhealthy but so friggin' delicious?
That's a good question. Let's just say battered sausage. Like
That, well, considering what we just talked about, you're slapping dicks, and your
This is-
favorite meal is battered sausage.
This is what we like to call synergy. But no, legitimately, if I go to a fish and chip restaurant, I just get the battered sausage, which is a sausage that's battered.
That makes me think it was pork that was abused, like it was battered and beaten.
Maybe, but then it's deep fried, so I don't care.
I mean, it's a deep fried sausage. That sounds
It's a
truly...
deep fried sausage, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna move on. What is the biggest or weirdest fear that you have? I don't know that you could hear me because they were too busy being shits. But
Folks cracking up.
what's the biggest or weirdest fear that you have? We've had some weird ones, so feel free to be specific.
I don't. Probably just people telling me off. Every so often I have these weird moments of deja vu where I'm just expecting in the next few seconds someone to come in and yell at me. And they never do. But that's generally what I'm afraid of, is people yelling at me. There you go. That's a legitimate answer.
You came on this podcast too where I just yell at our guests.
No, but like being told off for doing something wrong, like every day at work, I'm just afraid someone's going to come in and go, "You've been doing it wrong for the last 5 years. You've ruined everything."
So it sounds like you fear Karen.
The Karen, yes.
The Karen, yes.
The
The Karen in her natural habitat.
It's like actually on the website where I write about ponies. Sometimes, have you heard? I wrote about the vampire pony once, and I split it up into bits first, and I think the multiple bits ended up in the box at the same time, and I was told no, don't do that. I felt real bad.
Aw. Well, that's okay. We forgive you.
Thank you.
It's okay. So, are you aware of the fact that in Canada they supply milk in plastic bags?
I am. They stick it in a jug, and they stick a lid on the jug, and they pour it out of the bag, which is in the jug.
Yes. How do you feel about this?
Canadians can do what they like. They share a queen with us, and she keeps me appraised of their comings and goings, and they seem to be doing adequately, so they can have their bag milk if it makes them happy.
That is the most painfully British answer. You're so British, Alex. Why are you not this British, Alex? What's wrong with you?
Well, there's one way to know how British you are. Do you wank underneath your desk as well?
Just don't wank at all, ever.
Well, he's too British.
It's the most English thing you can think of. I'm actually just getting more and more English because I'm just nervous of talking to people. Normally I'm not like this.
You see, I was gonna yell at you about your saying they could have bagged milk they'd like, but I don't want to scare you now. I'm just sitting here that's okay. Yep, that's fine.
It's I don't understand. I think it's a waste thing, the bagged milk, but I don't begrudge them it.
Okay, sure. Okay,
How do you take your tea?
With milk and no sugar. Also in a pint mug.
Strange. Okay.
Cool. So, what is your one annoying habit? And I get the sense you're the kind of person who would be like, oh, what is an annoying habit? I have this, and this. Please limit it to one.
Man, people get a pretty quick read of me, apparently.
Yep.
I can be rather self-deprecating, I've been told. And apparently that annoys some people, but there you go. Also, not talking in person will be another one.
I feel like your version of self-deprecating is, because you're so British, you're self-deprecating just going to be, my tea is mediocre.
My tea is fantastic, I'll have you know.
Yeah, that's something you don't fuck with the Brits about, I'll be honest, because, I mean, we know from experience, if you're going to fuck with Brits and their tea, you gotta go hard.
Yeah.
Your mom makes a shite tea.
She does, actually, but that's not her fault.
She does actually, but that's not her. Oh my God! You're such a sweet cinnamon bun, you are. Oh. All right. So what habit do you find most annoying in other people?
In other people? Generally, I try not to get annoyed by people because I tend to think, if I was doing this, what they're doing, would I want someone to be annoyed at me? I think no. So I try to be patient with people, but I think the one that always annoys me is when someone's complaining about, because like people like to vent, I get that, but it's when someone's complaining about something that they've complained about before, and it's like, you know that there's something you could do about this, right? That you could do about this right now, and they're like, no, and they just don't. And then they come back later and do the same thing again. It's like, okay, all right. So after a certain point, I'm just like, my sympathy has run out for you because you are not solving the problem that you could easily solve. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. You're still just such a nice human.
It's because I just don't see the point of getting angry at people.
I do. I'm not, Priest, I'm not sure what you're saying. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, how about does something about the wife annoy you? Like, does she not do the dishes?
We have a dishwasher, and I do most of the housework. Because
oh my God!
She works a tougher job than I do, so...
What are you? How are you existing?
You see, the most American response would have been to say the dishwasher was the wife.
Ooh.
I will fucking cut you.
That wouldn't go down well.
No.
But I think I don't want to. No, I love my wife. She's wonderful. She puts up with me, so there you go.
Aww.
Alright. Okie dokes. There we go. Now I'm being Priest. Okie dokie. What is the theme song for your sex life?
Frolic, which is the theme tune to Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Note the song. No. Why?
Because I was just thinking about it, because I knew this question was probably going to be coming, and I thought, what's a good one to sum it up? And I thought, this is a good song. Also because, things tend to go wrong, I guess, hilariously, through my own doings, which I think is kind of the premise of the show.
Things go wrong in your sex life?
They start out well, then you overthink it, things go horribly wrong.
Start out well meaning.
Wrong hole.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh. we're gonna go next. So, do you watch anime by chance? And if so, what are some of your favorites?
Not a whole lot. I've watched some in the past. Like I watched Elfin Lied, and I watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And,
calm down, Priest.
What are some other ones? Trigun was good. And I tend to prefer some of the older stuff. I watched like Memories, Cyber City Audio was good as well. Stuff like that. I tend to because a lot of anime I think nowadays tends to be these giant running series, and I'm not good at watching long series of things. So.
Well, I think that's fair. I know we have a variety of favorite animes in this group. I know that I'm partial to a mixture of like weird horror and comedy animes and cutesy animes. I know Priest is fond of things. Milk, if he was here, would be like screaming about JoJo right now. Enigma likes anything with tits in it, I'm gonna guess.
To a degree, not to the degree you think.
I mean, and Flam, well, Flam, what anime do you like?
I like a couple, actually. One that has one anime, which is obviously Girls in Panzer, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, you would.
And I would say Ruby, but that would ignite a massive debate on if that is actually qualifying for anime or not. And I just love seeing people butt mad about that.
I mean, it's less anime than Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Is it though?
Is it though?
I need to watch some more of that, actually.
You haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh, I've seen, again, as is often my custom, I've started it and I haven't finished it. Same with Ruby.
I
And I'm like,
desperately
this show's real good, especially Avatar. I'm like, this show's real good, I just never get around to finishing them.
I heavily recommend watching that one, yeah.
I never got into Avatar for some reason. I tried on so many occasions, and I don't know, just couldn't get into it.
I'm just going to say you really, if you've only seen, like, say, the first 5 episodes, you got to get past that. You got to push past them. Trust me.
Oh, it's one of those. It's one of those things like start JoJo on the second season, not the first.
That's what I did.
Hey, if you missed the first season of JoJo, you missed the first bit where he, like, picks up a rock out of nowhere, and it's fantastic.
Oh, well, I missed that, I guess.
What was I? I was about to say something, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, that was
Anime.
it. Yeah, Avatar had the thing in it that I actually kind of like about My Little Pony, and that it's a fun show, but it's also just fucking funny. Like, there are bits in it,
Yes.
like, every few seconds that are jokes, and they're funny. That's the thing that I like most about the actual My Little Pony show, is that it's fucking funny. Clearly put together by people who knew what they were doing.
Oh, yes. Sokka is great comic relief, too. And Flam, if you don't like Sokka, I would be shocked.
My favorite character.
Which one was that again?
Katara's brother with the ponytail.
My favorite character that I sympathized the most with in Avatar was the Cabbage Man.
Because you constantly lose everything that's nice to you over and over again, and then are just sad about it rather than fix the problem.
Exactly.
Okay. So, guest, how big is your porn stash?
Doesn't the internet exist these days?
Yeah,
Why would, why would it have a stash of anything? It's like, do you remember a few years ago when 50 Shades of Grey came out, and it was like, holy shit, this is a book with pornography in it, and people, have you looked at your phone recently? You could just type in whatever it is you're feeling like, and it'll appear in your hand. One hand, while your other hand can do something else. Why do you need a stash?
Yeah, Go ahead, Enigma.
I just realized that I don't think I've ever seen British pornography. What is it? What is that even like?
It's two people who lie side by side, fully clothed, for an hour, under harsh lighting.
I think
Do they talk about their feelings?
No.
You say that like you're incensed, just like, how dare you suggest that?
If I had feelings, they would have been annoyed by what you just said.
You sweet cinnamon roll, no. You think everything is nice and fluffy and you want to be nice to people. No, you have a feeling for a big, giant teddy bear and you will never convince me otherwise at this point. To pile on that, who is your waifu or husbando, and why are they shit?
Husbando is a fantastic word. I love that word.
Same.
Obviously. Let's do fake. Actually, wait. Back up. Explain, because I'm like vaguely aware of this concept.
Okay.
Explain like what it would mean to someone who'd never heard it before. Because like I just write stories about like, I want to write a story about hugging this one today. So I'm going to imagine a character who likes this one. So
okay. I can explain it really, really basically. It's like a character who is your favorite, to the point that they are almost like somebody you consider a friend or romantic person. Like, you just love them so much that the feelings you have for them are emotional and romantic, and not just you like them, but they are yours. They are your character now.
That's very good, actually.
I thought it was if you were in that world, you would marry them if given the chance.
That's true too. So there you go.
Absolutely. With that in mind, it would probably, I guess, for this be probably like Twilight or Celestia, just because I like them a lot. Also,
just walk up to Celestia and charm her with your British charm.
Celestia strikes me as someone who has been around long enough to not be easily charmed, but she also strikes me as someone who's been around long enough who would be able to get your sense of humor no matter what it was, and I think that's a very attractive trait in someone.
What, even morbid humor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a thick crack earlier about what doth life doth end, and I thought that shit was hilarious. No one else laughed.
Because we're all just like, oh, we are surrounded by death at all times. Good.
Meanwhile, there's Celestia, who has no goddamn mortality.
Meanwhile, I've totally forgotten the ad. Yeah, priest, thank you. So we're at the midway point now that we know who your waifu is. And so we're going to take a little moment to talk about a certain charity. And I guess, you know what? No, Enigma's talked too much. Hey, Flam!
Yes.
Oh, no.
Step out for a second.
Go ahead. Hey, Flam.
You.
Did you know that somewhere nearish you, there is a place called Red Wings Horse Sanctuary?
Yes.
Did you know that they take care of horses of all kinds who have been displaced or have been taken from abusive situations?
Yes.
Did you know that you can donate to them and sponsor horses?
Yes.
Did you know that we do this?
Yes.
How can people help with this, Flam?
Yes.
Fuck! Okay. If you want to give money to horses at Red Wings Horse Sanctuary, you can donate through us. You can go to our Patreon, which hopefully I'll post a link direct to the Patreon. You can go to our Patreon, or you can go to our website at www.barcast.net. And all the money we get, we don't keep it, we don't spend it on anything ourselves. We send it directly to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary to sponsor a horse named Lil Bit, who was chosen by our viewers as our Barcast-sponsored horse. So you can do that, and it's great, and it's a good cause. And, hey, Flam, was this ad shit?
No.
Fuck you! God damn it! Good. Good. Well, that's the ad. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't think Cackling Moron is back yet.
And yes, I had the exact expression as my profile pic right now, the entire time.
And hey, guys.
Yes.
Keep an eye out in the coming days if you're a barcaster and you like to write, because we might be putting on a contest. Because it's time for that. Yeah, okay. Our guest appears to have returned. Cackling Moron, are you back?
Yes. Can you hear
Cool. We can indeed. Hey, Flam.
Yes.
Would you like to read Alex _'s questions?
Yes.
Fantastic. Please do so.
Yes. Alright, we move on to Alex _, whose first question happens to be, have you had a Friday the 13th?
No. I honestly actually forgot it was Friday the 13th today.
Oh, yes.
Because, although I think it was pretty perfect given that I'm doing this today and it's Friday the 13th, but,
Either that or this is the low point of your day.
Well, technically it's tomorrow for me, so...
Oh, this is right. This is very right. Well, in that case, he launches directly into what is your dream ice cream?
Chubby Hubby. They serve it in America still, but they don't serve it over here anymore, and that pisses me
Wait,
off.
what? Whoa, no, wait, what is this? I've never heard of this.
It's a Ben & Jerry's flavor.
Chubby Hubby?
Yep.
Chubby
Yeah.
Hubby.
Shall we have it? I don't know. Maybe they still sell it in America? I don't know. They used to sell it here, but they stopped. And as far as I'm aware, they do still sell it in America. And I really liked it, and it was great.
I see.
I'm looking it up now. Chubby Hubby. Vanilla malt ice cream with peanutty fudge-covered pretzels with fudge and peanut butter swirls. Priest, please stop drooling.
It's probably a lot of nostalgia on my part, but it was very good, so...
Doesn't seem
mean-
that bad, honestly.
That seems like something Priest would, probably cut a bitch for.
Drooling from my penis.
Oh.
Ooh.
Is that where ice cream goes? No.
Yes. Right into the penis.
It just sends it right through. That's exactly how it works.
You absorb it through your pee hole.
You,
Like a-
you-
like a
you
straw,
gotta
just-
warn your partner first, or she'll get a brain freeze, if you know what I mean.
Oh my
Suddenly
god.
suddenly it makes sense why you'd put a straw down your penis. Now it all links up.
Oh my god.
Rightio. Now, that was your dream ice cream, but what would you say is your nightmare ice cream?
Anything with mint, actually, because I fucking hate mint.
Thank you. Mint is shit and it's overrated flavor. Fuck mint.
Coming at it honestly, mint is just a flavor that overpowers all other flavors. But I
It
just
is.
don't like. I just don't like it.
Mint gum is fantastic, but as a flavor as an adding flavor to something else, nah, fam. I'm willing to throw down over this.
Because I don't have the most sensitive palate because I've ruined it. But mint is just generally something like, do you like all those other subtle flavors? Well, too bad, because here's mint, and it's just everything else is gone. There you go.
I love mint.
Too bad.
I love mint so much. It's so great.
Number 4. How do you like to relax?
I do about 3 things at once. Usually about this time, actually, because this is about the time of night when I start waking up, and I will write something, I will listen to something, and I will play a video game at the same time.
A
generally-
video game?
A video game, which is like a video game.
Ooh, whoa,
I'm
is
playing
that
it
a
playing-
video wave?
Exactly.
Oh. I don't
And I
want
will do it at this time of day because it's quiet and no one will bother me.
Beautiful. Very well then. Clearly then, as a man of culture, can you, on the spot, drop us a sick, fresh, and funky rap about hand washing to ease us through this current crisis?
I think you have woefully misjudged my character. No, I can't. I will just say, washing your hands isn't hard. I've been washing my hands, given where I work, but I've been washing my hands so much, my knuckles have actually started bleeding. So, just wash your fucking hands. Wash your hands. If you go outside, when you come back in, wash them. When you're about to eat, wash them.
So what you're saying is, to everyone take heed, obey your creed, wash your hands till you bleed.
Wiki, wash your hands. Wiki, wash your hands. Wash your hands.
You could rub some funk on it at least. Come on.
Yeah, just wash your hands by spitting on your hands and just rubbing that around.
No, I meant
Shine.
the wrapping part. You could rub some funk on the wrapping part, spruce it up a little.
Right.
I'd just be like, wash your fucking goddamn hands, or I will bury you in the sands. There you go.
Sorry about the silence. I had to talk to someone real quick.
This
But
guy.
very well. Yes. Let's see. How much what the fuck? How much salad cream is needed to thoroughly ruin a wedding? Salad cream? Who the fuck?
How much molasses were involved in that molasses flood that killed those people that one time? So
Oh my
that
God,
much,
I know what you're talking about.
that much salad cream.
But what is the salad cream?
Yeah, what is salad cream? Is this a British thing?
Yes, it is a British thing, but it's not. I don't eat salad. B, if I did, I wouldn't put fucking salad cream on it.
Lie to us. Tell us that salad cream is a thing that all Brits use. Just tell us immediately.
All other Brits do. I am idiosyncratic and weird, so I don't. But it's just fuck. What is salad cream? I don't even know. We don't even have it in the house. It's
I don't
like
know.
shit
Let's see.
It's shit
Salad
mayonnaise.
cream.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's just ranch.
Salad
Salad.
cream is a pale yellow condiment based on an emulsion of about 25 to 50% oil and water, emulsified by egg yolk and acidulated by spirit vinegar.
It's
There you go.
mayonnaise. It's
It's
really,
fucking mayonnaise.
it's really vinegary mayonnaise. It's just really vinegary mayonnaise. That's all. It's mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's shit mayonnaise.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Although,
Mayonnaise on your fucking salad.
if you want to know about mayonnaise, you want to go talk to the Dutch. They fucking love mayonnaise.
I'm just not over the fact that Brits put just straight up mayonnaise. They put straight up mayonnaise on their salads, and they call it salad cream. What the fuck, Britons? That's worse than bag milk.
Would you like more salad cream with tea? Yes, then we can jack each other.
Oh yes, my dear. Of course, I'd love some salad cream with my tea. Like, god damn, you guys, what are you doing?
After we can put it up our ass.
Oh yes, a salad cream enema, darling. It sounds wonderful.
That escalated quickly. All right, cool.
Sorry.
We are very passionate about mayonnaise here.
See,
That seems like a waste of mayonnaise.
I thought it was vegan cummies.
It's got egg yolk, honey.
Oh,
Salad. That's actually really good. I like that.
Vegetarian cummies is better.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Chicken mayonnaise. Oh god. It's all chicken mayonnaise. It's all made with egg yolk. Anyway, go, Flam, go.
All right. He'd give her those cummies.
Oh,
Right there.
that's the end of the Alex questions, I guess. Actually.
Yeah, it looks like it's the end of the Alex.
Oh shit. Cool. Actually, you know what? Flam, do some more for us, won't you?
Sure thing. Allow me to pop open my yogurt here. Oh fuck!
What the
Yogurt got
fuck?
on my desk, motherfucker. God damn it!
I like to think
So
your
I'm
family.
gonna do these questions now.
No,
Challenge
I know I got it. I just licked it off my desk because it's my own coronavirus.
I like
Stop
I-
licking things, Flam!
I like to think his family comes in and they just see like white stains in front of his monitor.
And he's licking it off. God!
There you go. So
Stop licking things.
I'm fucking joking. I just wiped it off with my finger, which is clean. It only has one poo stain on it.
Oh my god, stop. Please ask our guest questions.
Next
Sorry.
question's from Chad the Lad.
Oh, shit! Wait, I forgot! This is what I was gonna say. I remembered. I forgot to mention, if you want to donate money to us and you don't have actual donate bits, on the lower right hand side of the screen is a little diamond. You click the diamond, you click get bits, and then you watch an ad. You take the bits and you donate the bits, and we use them as real fucking money.
You put the lime in the coconut and you shake it all up, yeah.
And at the end of the stream, we will read the people who donated the most bits right now. Alex _ is leading with 50 bits. You guys can do better. And continue now. Go!
Someone needs to impersonate John Madden and do that whole skit right there.
Thanks.
No, not John Madden, Doug Dimmadome.
God damn it.
You
Here's a
can
random
donate your
assortment
Dimma bits, yeah.
Fuck. Oh god, fuck you, pencil. Donate your bits. God damn it. Here's some random assortment of questions for you. Number 1, Star Wars or no? If so, favorite movie?
Yeah, I like Star Wars. Probably go for like A New Hope because it's nice and self-contained and it hasn't become horribly laid down with its own storyline yet. I don't mind Star Wars.
Are you
Like
saying
Sin.
Are you saying
I could-
your favorite isn't Rise of Skywalker?
Now, like, I could go off on a number of horrible tangents here, but where would that get any of us? Really, all I can say is that for the sequel series, it would have been nice if someone had sat down at the start and said, "Here's the beginning, here's the end, and this is what happens in between," rather than just taking a couple $1 billion franchise and saying, "I don't know, Stormtroopers, you guys get on with it, just fucking sort it out."
To be fair, at the very end, if when she was asked her name, Rey just said, "I'm Rey Palpatine," and zapped the bitch, that would have been the best fucking twist ever, and all the movies would have been worth it right there.
Just like immediately cuts to the music. That would have been good.
Yeah. Play us out, Johnny. She slaps him. Exactly. Honestly, then all the movies would have been worth it. I would have given everything. So, all right, New Hope. It's a good movie. I like the way he's put it, self-contained, and we can live blissfully in the fact that Luke probably laid pipe on Leia. So.
I love it's got that early weirdness thing where you have it in all new things where like we haven't quite worked out the characters yet. So like, are Luke and Leia related? We don't know. And later on, they clarify that it's like watching the early series of Star Trek or something. And
in that movie, we learn that Han has like blaster dysfunction where he always shoots first.
Yeah, with blasters, it's probably a good thing.
There you go. Next, we got video games or no? If so, what's your favorite?
Yes. What is my favorite? That is a very good question. Like of all time, I guess. Majora's Mask. I really like Majora's Mask. Because it's like I got to put the expansion pack into my N64, and so those graphics look real crisp. And it's just a lot more open than the last one. Also, I remember playing it one time when the BBC was playing like Harry Potter audiobook, and I just listened to that and playing Zelda, and I thought, I don't think my life's going to improve from here. And it was pretty great.
I thought you were gonna say you were playing it while the Doctor Who theme song was playing in the back.
Full disclosure, I'm not a huge fan of Doctor Who.
As a Brit, wow.
I like Doctor Who just fine, but it seems a lot of the recent series seem to be disappearing up their own arse, which is unfortunate. Not because of we're not gonna talk about anything too political. It's just it's the storyline thing of the finale that happened recently was hey, guess who's involved? It's the Cybermen again. I'm like, for fuck's sake, just anyone new, just someone new. Stop bringing back old stuff.
So the Cybermen is the Palpatine of Doctor Who.
No, they are not. They are not the man with the yellow eyes and the author of all his pains.
Are you saying you're not a fan of the Mistress?
The Mistress.
Priest, I did not know you were a fan. We got to get together one of these days and just nerd out.
It's been a while.
The new master wasn't that interesting, to be honest.
Tell Enigmita I say hi, Enigma.
Enigmita.
Yay. Flam. This
yes.
is your job,
We are
yes.
done. Oh, yes. Flam, time to do your goddamn job. Yes. So, number 3. Do you got a favorite dad joke?
The only one I can remember right now is there's a woman who makes it her duty to look after small wounded birds. Her whole house is full of them. And one day it's very, very cold, and she goes out and she finds a wren on the lawn, and this wren is injured, and she's like, oh no, and she picks it up and takes it in and sets it down and starts looking after it. And her husband comes downstairs and finds her looking after this other bird in this house already full of birds. And he looks, and he's finally snapped. He's had enough, and he starts swearing, getting very, very angry at her. And she covers the wren's ears and says, please, not in front of the chilled wren. The long walk around the houses for that one, but there you go.
My favorite dad joke is dad saying, I don't have to make a joke with you as my son. I already made one. But yours wins.
Our chat is sitting there in silence, just being like, wow. So, good job.
I'm a fan of that joke because my buddy told it to me, and your reaction was pretty much my reaction when he told me. So there you go.
Perfect.
It's like on par with things that do not have to do with It's like, God damn it. Quality. Number 4, favorite color.
I'm colorblind, so I don't know. I don't really care. Green. There you go. How about that?
Yeah, that's my favorite color.
Oh, yes. Number 5, what is your favorite music genre?
Anything that makes a pleasing sound. Metal is generally the gigs that I've gone to tend to be metal, but it's metal and synth sitting atop a huge mountain of anything else I feel like listening to. East Coast hip hop is pretty good. I was listening to some Das EFX earlier. That's always good. Anything really. In fact, actually, before I came on this, I was listening to Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. That was fun too.
Huh. So definitely a diversified portfolio with you.
Eclectic, yes.
Yes. Very well then. What else we got? Number 6, your current favorite May
May.
meme, of course. But yes.
I don't know. I don't actually know what's happening in the meme genre right now. I still am a fan of the spell my name Steven with a PH. Is that a meme?
Wow, that's a year and a half old, but I love that.
It's a year and a half old. It's just because me and my wife talk about it sometimes, and we still crack up. So that's probably the one I can think about right now.
Fair enough. For me, it's been me and the boys. It's always me and the boys. But now it's all coronavirus memes. Shame.
Yeah. Mm.
But it is what it is. Oh, and here's something for you.
God damn it, please.
So,
I know
yes,
that song.
there you go. I love it so much. My life was infinitely better when I knew that shit existed. So, 7, the age-old question: cat burbs or fish burbs?
That's hippogriffs or griffins, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Which ass do you prefer?
Yes.
Lion
or horse ass.
Yep, you gotta decide.
Silverstream's what? So she's what?
She's a griffin, isn't she? No, not a griffin.
Silverstream is a... Yeah, she's a hippogriff, I thought.
There we go.
Go for hippogriff thing. She's wonderful. I like her.
I've always wondered if she's essentially becoming, like... How do their genitals morph?
Well, I mean, okay, I can talk about this if you want. We're talking about animal genitals, so I can talk about this. Do you want me to?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously we know how cat vaginas are. Yes, like that they exist, where they're located on the cat. And to be clear, they're right below the anus, facing backwards. If people think that a cat's like vagina is straight under it or something, that you're wrong. That's not correct. However, fish don't work that way. Fish don't like come up to each other and fuck each other. That's not how it works.
It's true.
They jizz on eggs.
Yes,
That is correct.
this is very correct. There are a couple of fish that do produce like live young, which is really terrifying. I'm just gonna
Like
say right now.
seahorses.
Like seahorses, but not like seahorses, because seahorses, it's the male that carries the children, and then they hatch, and that's different. That's different. So, with a fish, the assumption would be, because the genitals of the fish are on the underside of, like below the tail, towards almost the belly of what we would think of, but slightly behind it. It's much more straight down. So when they morphed, it would have to slide backwards, and as the tail rose and became like a lion's tail, it would slide backwards to like fit itself up there, and also would separate out into like, there's the anus and there's the genitals. So there you go.
Also,
This logistically sounds very painful.
Also,
Yeah.
it's more painful if you imagine that when they're changing, they're in the middle of a period. Does all that lining just like tear out or something?
Well, if you're a fish, then fish don't really have their period.
Yeah,
And
but sea ponies are mammals.
mammals don't have quote periods like women do either. Did you, Enigma, were you under the impression that animals bleed out of the vaginas once a month?
Some animals do it. I don't know.
Animals go into something called heat, which I'm sure you've heard of before. Yes,
Go
maybe.
on. Yeah.
Animals go into heat. During that time, they ovulate and menstruate. It's very similarly to, say, we do, but not quite the same thing. So it would only be a certain period of time every year, or sometimes multiple years. Sometimes it's a couple times a year, or estrus. There's a lot of different terms for it in different species. So it's not like all the lining would shed all at once, because it doesn't work the same way it does for humans. The assumption would be that if they are in heat, when they morph from a lion to a fish, that heat would just stop. So there you go. You've learned something today. Do you feel better?
They're not lions. They're half eagles and half horse. You've been saying lion this entire time.
Are their back halves horses? Hold on.
They're horses.
But they're hippogriffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eagle horse. than eaglefish. I mean,
You're right.
horsefish. I mean,
I know. Just that they looked weird. You're right. They looked weird. Okay. Well, I take all I said back then. But that being said, horses also go into heat and go through estrus. So, my point still stands. But it would be different. There you go.
Because when I'm thinking of mermaid vagina, I'm just thinking of the lighthouse, personally, and fish vagina.
Is that how the Little Mermaid ended? Like she just laid some eggs, and then they had what's his name just jizz in the ocean where the eggs are.
No, clearly the lighthouse was just the sequel to Flapjack.
I liked the lighthouse.
I'm glad you did. I'm happy.
You goddamn thoughts. Sorry.
I mean, best part was when he beat a seagull to death. So we all wanted to do that at one time.
I was just like, I was expecting to be sitting in an empty screen with no one there, but I guess a lot of people wanted to see Robert Pattinson jacking it in a shed.
Yes. Oh god. And he then Chad the lad says, "Hope you're having a nice stream."
Are we having a nice stream?
I'm having a nice
so that's
stream.
usually a bad sign. But
I'm having a nice stream.
This is what you Brits would call a dapper stream.
steady on. That's a bit too strong.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the tiers of pleasant for the British?
Quite nice, rather nice, nice. Well, the dog's bollocks, I suppose, if you really wanted to go all out.
I thought the topmost tier would be fair enough.
You're not wrong. That's high praise.
That's the highest. That's the highest.
I thought it was
demonstration
can't
of-
complain.
All eight monocles just dropped out of my ass.
Okay, that's great. Pencil, did you want to take over?
Well, I can take back over now that I've made a fool that hippogriffs didn't have lion acid. Sure, I can take back over. RK Striker JK5 is next. RK Striker JK5 says, "What's your favorite non-MLP franchise?"
Probably be like a mosh pit of 40k, Discworld, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the culture just fighting with each other for whichever is attracting my attention on that particular day. And they're all British, actually, I just noticed. So yeah, just those ones, really.
They're all British and in space.
They're all, well, oh, fuck, yeah. You're not wrong. Also, the authors for 3 of them are all dead.
So you like space Brits, is what I'm hearing.
Written by dead Brits.
Dead space Brits, apparently.
Dead space Brits. That's the name of your next story. There you go.
The culture's the one that people tend not to have heard of, but some people have on the site, and I was very, very happy about that.
Would you recommend it to our viewers?
Fuck yeah, I would. They're adapting one of the books to an Amazon show, apparently, so look out for that in the next 10 years.
Yeah, we're adapting it. It could be 6 months, it could be 10 years. It's kind of true.
Are we adapting it or adopting it? Because one of those is shorter than the other.
They are. To divert. They're probably going to cut my favorite scene from the book, which is where the main character crashes on an island that's inhabited by a cult of cannibals. And the scene has absolutely nothing to do with the plot, and it's just absolutely disgusting. And it's like my favorite scene of the whole book because it has nothing to do with anything, but it's just disgusting. And I bet they're going to cut it. Oh well.
Such is life.
Such is life.
So now, have you ever done anything for a non-MLP franchise? And I'm assuming you have. You done any fan fiction or fan art or anything for another franchise? Are you cheating on MLP with anyone?
I have the drawing skills of a 5-year-old, so I haven't done any art, but I have written a couple of things. I wrote some Harry Potter fan fiction because I think I was under the impression at the time that everyone was supposed to. I wrote a story about a student who gets turned into a plague bearer by finding a book to do with Nurgle. A couple of other things, and also
Priest is sitting there like heavily breathing. I can tell.
So of the four chaos gods, yours is Nurgle.
I love Nurgle because he's all about. He's got some nuance, and I love the nuance about the acceptance of apathy. Jesus Christ! No, he's interesting, but that's one thing. Also, the longest running thing I've done, which is not My Little Pony, is a Rogue Trader Mass Effect crossover story, which is the nerdiest fucking thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Calibrations, my dude.
It's basically just the 40k show featuring Commander Shepard who shows up and is surprised.
That's it. He just shows up and he's mildly surprised.
My Commander Shepard in the story is a lady and looks like a potato who was cut apart and put back together again.
So Liler.
So yeah, that's what else? I also wrote like a Harry Potter story about a robot getting enrolled in Hogwarts because I thought it was funny at the time. It wasn't, but I thought it was.
I congratulate you on your abilities, and I hope for your continued success in your endeavors. But man, you seem to have found your stride with this fanfiction. Glad that you settled on us rather than staying in the Harry Potter fandom the whole time.
I know, right? Like, I just wrote, genuinely, like, because the first thing I wrote on the fucking site was some Equestria Girls thing that no one really cares about, and then I wrote something with Rainbow Dash, and poof, everything else from there. And people like it, and it's really nice that people are actually reading and liking something I wrote.
That does feel good, I will admit.
It does feel good.
Well, what was the house the robot was in?
Gryffindor. Because also it's called Murderbot and they speak in all caps, and Malfoy's back and they're a girl now. I don't know.
Okay. So, Arky Striker JK5 also wants to know, is it really cackle? Or is it more of a dry laugh? Like, give us your cackling, Cackling Moron.
I think at this point you've probably heard me laughing quite a bit. I can't actually do a cackle because A, my voice is too low, and B, my wife is asleep. But the cackling, so it is more of a dry laugh anyway. The cackling tends to come when I'm reading other stories, and I can see the artistry involved in other people's stories, and I'm starting to see bits click together. I'm like, this is fantastic. Some other people put some effort into this craft. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy for you. Oh, it's time, guys. It's time for questions with Vylon. And because I'm not going to sing it today, hey, Enigma, will you sing? It's time for questions with Vylon.
Hold on, I got an idea. Give me 2 seconds.
Yes, do it. I know what you're going to do. Do it.
Oh God, I don't know this.
I know what he's going to do.
One moment. Give you a moment.
Okay. It's okay. I believe in you. I'm excited. It's okay.
Oh,
It'll be okay.
I think I get where this is going.
Yep. I'm ready. Cackling Moron, are you ready?
Sure.
It's taking too long.
You forgot. It's time for questions with Vylon.
It's time for questions with Vylon.
It's good enough. You can go away now, child.
Amazing.
Yay! Thank you, Enigmita. All right. I'll do the fun. Vylon wants to know, how are you today?
Okay, real talk. What is the deal with this question? Like, what is the backstory here? Because I feel like I'm missing like 95% of the deal here.
Vylon is known for asking really disturbing questions, and actually I have some saved, which I'll ask you at the very end, since we'll have a little extra
Please
time.
do, because this is not a disturbing question.
No, Vylon was nice to you, because you're wholesome.
All right. I was going to say that I was tired, but like this is the time of day when I start waking up, so I'm not tired anymore.
Congratulations! All right, that's been questions of violence. Now it's questions with a non-pencil. And I have one demand, not a question. My demand is that for us, right now, you do an American accent.
Oh, I'm going to need like a sentence to read in trying to do an American accent, because it's like...
Can I write the sentence?
Yes, you
Yes,
can write the
do it.
sentence. Write it out real quick, Priesty Pie.
Don't disappoint me.
And don't be political, please.
This is going to go horribly wrong. Also, weirdly, right? In person, my accent apparently tends to come across to people in very different ways. I've had people asking me if I'm Swedish, if I'm Australian, if I'm American, if I'm Irish, if I'm South African, all sorts of things.
I mean, to be fair, Americans can't tell the difference between Australian and British accents. Okay. No! Priest, don't make him do a Texan accent! Let him try to do an American accent the way he likes!
This has already set my mind.
It's too late. He's already spoiled the broth.
What the fuck, Priest? I just...
Okay, we should be stereotypical as possible. No, you can't just edit it. I saw what was there.
You said, boy howdy, like fucking Christ. Have you ever heard an American say boy howdy in your life?
I say howdy.
I'm gonna start using that around here.
Howdy! You never say that. Jesus Christ.
Goddamn.
Boy, okay, right, okay. Boy howdy, I sure love to have me a Big Mac and some goddamn nuggies.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty Texan.
It sounded like something that would come out of King of the...
Yeah, I imagine him wearing flannel, a cowboy hat.
I was really hopeful one day we'd get an American accent that wasn't Southern or Texan, but today is not that day.
It did ruin me, because normally I'm just like, I'm going to start saying ass instead of arse and all these other, because I think I watched too much Daily Show when I was a teenager and it ruined my accent forever. But there you go.
Yeah, people are like, that sounds like fucking Hank Hill on the show. There you go. All right, well, now we're on to our last set of questions, and they are by none other than the author of Cupcakes himself, Rob Cakern 53.
The guy who wrote that story about the Rainbow Dash getting regressed to a baby?
That's right! He's the one who wrote that story about Rainbow Dash getting regressed to a baby!
Jesus, I'm never living that down.
I love it so much!
Are we able to pull him into the chat and have him describe to Rob what My Little Dashie is?
Actually, I'd love to if he's willing. Let me ask him.
Get this we got time. Get this motherfucker.
I just want to hear this.
You can't even hear.
I'm saying, Rob Cakern, can you come into our chat and hear our guest tell you
just ask him
what
to
he?
don't tell him.
No, because I need him to shut up. Otherwise, he won't shut up. What he thinks My Little Dashie is about. Please.
Keep pinging him until he responds.
The door is red.
Oh my god.
He's been happily sending me Celestia pictures this whole time, so.
Oh, just Rob, please. Okay, so while he does that, I'll ask his first question. Hello, fellow sun butt warmer. How has your day been? We've already answered this, but sure.
Quiet. Like I said, quiet is the perfect type of day for me because it means no one is running out of anything they need.
I mean, that's fair too. So, since we're talking about Celestia, what are your favorite things about Celestia, both canon and fanon?
In canon, her whole, I wrote a thing once which was about having some dickhead having tea with her, and asking the question about why it is that whenever the shit hits the fan, she just seems to get immediately incapacitated. She does, because her whole thing is I'm super fucking powerful, so well, we need to write Superman out of this particular story, so you got petrified. My personal favorite still remains the the one where Starlight and Discord and Trixie go to the Hive. And the backstory of the whole thing is just they captured all the princesses. When? I don't know, just sometime off screen when you weren't watching.
Jesus.
It's really? So in canon, her whole role is just she's the best, except when she would solve the problem at hand. So we need to get her out the way. But my opinion of her, as I kind of mentioned already, is that she's a nice lady who has a fine sense of humor and is also closer to my height than the others might be, and has wings.
How tall do you think Celestia is? I'm curious because everyone has a different opinion of how they are. So
shorter than me, but not as short as the others.
Are you a tall human? How tall a human are you?
I am 6'4".
You are an ogre. Got it.
I imagine she would be like this 4 times the size of an angry goose.
She's also got because she's got height. She's got hands of height, so she'll be coming up to like your chest or your neck. But she's also got length. You see, because the other ones are coming up to like your waist. Is always my opinion.
So the waist of like you, who is absurdly large.
That's true. I am mostly leg as well.
They're prime fucking height.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I thought everyone else was up to like groin height, and then Celestia's up to like chest height.
Yes, that works. That works as well. Also, she's got the horn, which looks like to be like a good foot or 2 foot long. So.
I bet you'd like to give her your foot long. Yeah.
Hey, I never got round to that in any of my stories, and I never will.
Fair enough. No, don't expect porn from Cackling Moron. You heard it here first.
I mean, I could, but I won't.
Hey man, let me just say something. If Celestia came to me and saying she wanted twice and she wanted it to hurt, I would just fuck her twice and punch her in the face.
I kind of want.
So the next question. Do you tend to read mostly Celestia fics or just anything that looks fluffy? Like, what do you go out of your way to read?
I tend to read anything that looks fluffy, really. Like every so yeah, I look for stuff that involves cuddling and just 2 people talk. I tend to be more like, I don't care about the zip zap kapow action shit. I tend to care more about what people care about that. Like, I was talking about your stories with Berry Punch and shit, right?
Oh, yeah, my the Broken Love series, yeah.
There's lots of talking, and I'm like, I'm down for that because I get to see how people are feeling, and I get to see stuff like that, and yeah, that's what I'm in it for.
And it's depressing.
Yes, but it's real, which is what I liked about it, because it's like they were getting through it together, which is what I enjoyed.
Aww.
Whereas my stuff tends to be like eating hot cross buns or some dumb shit like that.
And people fucking love it. People fucking love it.
Because it doesn't ask anything of you. It's just like, hey, this is a nice thing. At least I like to think so. Because apart from that one time I wrote that story, which apparently everyone thought was really sad.
You would get along very well, I think, with Eighth in his writing, with his Mooney stories. I think you'd
actually. That was like everything's nice and fluffy except for that one story, which is the only story I have that is tagged as something on top of Slice of Life. Actually,
well, besides like human. Or
everything I have is human Slice of Life, except for this one, which is human Slice of Life and tragedy, because people felt it needed a warning. Apparently,
because everyone expected you to not write sad.
Apparently so.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Okay. Are you, in fact, the fluff under my couch? If so, I dropped some pennies, and I would like them back.
No, they're mine now.
Oh.
Because money can be exchanged for goods or services.
So what you're saying is that if he wants the money back, Rob has to service you?
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, you have to...
Can you imagine if someone was the fluff under all sofas everywhere? That would be wonderful.
That'd be an interesting story, actually. I'd like that. Lastly, besides thank you for enjoying my Celestia fic, by the way, because apparently you've read his Celestia fic.
The latest one?
I don't know, one of them?
I assume so.
He says, lastly, let's collab.
Oh
Having collabed with Rob Cakern53, I recommend it heavily for anyone he requests, so fucking do it. Fucking do it. Fucking do it. Fucking do it. Just fucking do it.
Oh my god. I'm a terrible human being, but hit me up, I guess, if you want, and you'll be gravely disappointed, but sure, why not?
Hooray! Last set of questions. The last set of questions by Alex _. And number 1, if you had to describe your feet in a sensual manner, how would you do it?
Well, like at the bottom of my legs, those feet?
Yes.
In a sensual manner. Well, what's sensual about feet? They're fucking enormous and bony. If that's
You know-
if that's what gets your motor running, then that's sensual enough on its own.
You know what they say about big feet, don't you?
Big shoes.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
are very difficult to find.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. What shoe size are you? I'm curious.
13. I don't know what that translates to an American size.
No matter what it translates to, that's fucking huge.
Uh,
So.
Oh, hey, it's Rob.
Yes, it's happening. Yes. Okay. Rob, are you there? Rob, are you there? Rob, are you there? Rob, are you there? Robbie Cakes.
The lights are on, but no one is home.
I can hear that. I can hear that you're sort of there, but you're like really quiet and distant, and I can hear my own voice.
Yes, I'm literally driving home. Hang on.
It's okay. It's okay.
Your podcast.
Yeah, I know. You need to listen, Rob. You need to listen. Are you ready?
Okay, let me try to turn off the speakerphone thingy.
Okay, that's fine. Just listen. Cackling Moron.
Yes. Jesus, I sound like such a prick.
No, you don't tell me prick.
Where's the setting?
I don't know, Rob. Here, I'm gonna mute you for a second, but you should still be able to hear. And Cackling Moron is gonna tell you what he thinks My Little Dashie's about. Okay, I'm gonna mute you and just listen.
What?
Yeah, just listen, and then I'll unmute you and you can respond. Alright.
Yeah.
Good.
I was under the impression that My Little Dashie was a story about Fluttershy who wanted to look after someone or like a young person using horrible torture and all sorts of other vile techniques to regress Rainbow Dash to a infantile mental state. Turns out that that's not actually what the story is.
I'm gonna unmute you, Rob, and you can respond, and we'll all be quiet and listen to his response. Here we go.
Oh, I'm pulling over. Oh,
Congratulations,
fuck, what?
So the moment that we had earlier in the cast, hold on, I'm gonna mute quick. The moment that we had earlier in the cast was that Cackling said, "Oh, I don't know if I can deal with a story as gritty as My Little Dashie."
And we all went, what?
Like, what?
Look, okay? The question was, I was being put between these two things, and I thought, these are two horrible things, surely, because why would you put a nice thing and a horrible thing? Because you'd have to pick the nice thing.
It was My Little Dashie and Cupcakes. It was My Little Dashie and Cupcakes, and he thought you wrote both of them, just so you know.
Oh my gosh.
Turns out you only wrote one of them.
Yep.
I think.
Alright, that's all we need you to do for, Rob. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm looking forward to the collaboration, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Rob. You can go. Just wanted to let you hear that.
Okay, bye. Have fun.
Love you.
Thanks, Rob.
I'm
Bye.
very sorry. Oh, don't I feel like a wonderful human being?
That's the best thing that's ever happened. I'm sorry, just Rob. Oh my god.
I'm going to find this story that I'm thinking of, and I'm going to put it on my blog, so people can, on my blog post, so they can see what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. So I gotta finish these questions. We have a little time left.
Mm-hmm.
How does a 3D PD wife compare to a 2D fictional horse waifu?
My 3D wife is infinitely superior. I love my wife.
Aww, so sweet. What's the scariest situation you ever personally have been in?
Jesus. I don't fucking know. I guess it's scary. I don't know. Have I ever felt scared for my life? Oh, actually, yeah. One time I was in a car with a girl who was then my girlfriend, and she's like, let's just get up to 120 miles an hour on this stretch of road. And we were all like, no, please don't. And she did. That was pretty fucking scary. There you go.
That works. And is your tongue abnormally long?
Yes. Prove me wrong.
I mean, you're very tall, so it might be abnormally long compared to most of us.
Well, I've been using it to work the mouse while I've been talking to you, so is that normal? Do people normally do that?
The only way to prove I'm wrong is to test it yourself by French kissing.
Oh God, I don't want to have somebody like tickle my intestines. Thanks, no thanks. All right.
Yeah.
Well, because I promised I would, I have selected a Vylon question for you. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you sure you're ready?
Yes.
Okay. You are a necrophile, and you are attending your beautiful niece's funeral. As a sign of respect, you dab over her body and lay fidget spinners on her coffin. You also dabbed during her burial. That night, you dig up her body and give her the love you promised yourself that she'll take with her to the afterlife. Her insides are quite rigid because of the embalming fluids, but it still gives you enough stimulation to do the job. With a final thrust, you hilt into her and dab as you pour your creamy love into her. To your surprise, she also dabs. She's alive. You are immensely disappointed. Will you kill her yourself, or will you dig up another body to violate?
Well, firstly, kudos to my niece for having survived being embalmed. That's pretty impressive. Secondly, that's incest, and that's just wrong. Thirdly, I would dig up another corpse, because as a necrophile, I can't control myself. And I have to crack open a cold one, I believe, as we say in the necrophile community.
Are we okay? Is everyone okay?
You gotta get your munging fix.
Oh no, I don't like that. No, don't like that.
I love names for weird sexual acts that no one ever actually does. It's fantastic.
Alright, well, I think that kind of wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming on to our cast today, Cackling Moron.
Don't thank me. I've done nothing for you.
Is there any final words or thoughts, anything you'd like to say to your fans or haters before we wrap up?
I'm honestly amazed that I don't have any haters so far. After this, I imagine that might change. But if what I continue to produce continues to be enjoyed, then good for you guys, because I never thought that anyone would ever ask me to do anything like this. So it's been very nice.
Oh, happy to help. All right. Well, I will also thank the chat. Thank you, Alex _ with 51 bits donated. Thank you, Hat Vandemoose and Hank. Thank you, Shakespeare Clues, for donating bits today. That's another $1 towards horse charity. So thank you so much. We'll be back next week with who, Priest?
Next week we have fucking I don't know.
God, I missed milk. Anyway, we will have somebody. Please be aware. And until next time, this has been Enigmatic Otaku.
I have maggots in my scrotum.
This has been Flammenwerfer.
Yes.
This has been Flutter Priest.
Eels.
I've been an On Pencil, and we've had our guest with us here, Cackling Moron.
I hope you all had a very good time.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Hello, and welcome to the Barcast.